Thank you for tuning in to any of our videos. We also want to just ask your forgiveness if anything in this comes off offensive or abrasive. It is not our intent to cause division. What we would like you to do is enter into just a relationship as a believer with us, knowing that we're as much of a work in progress as you are, and that you would continue to pray for Nehemiah Abilene. We got trolled on one of our YouTube videos for the first time. First time we've ever had a comment. And in my mind, there were some grammatical issues. You know, the thing is, the guy didn't say anything negative. I need everybody to know that. The guy didn't say anything negative. He quoted scripture. Quoted scripture that talks about obscene language. And it was literally, no, it was just about obscene language. So not all versions of the Bible say it the way that scripture was quoted. Only a few versions say it that way, that says obscene language. But this is the reality. My intent and my motive of my heart isn't to be obscene. So that's why I want to talk about motives. Like the motive of my heart isn't obscenity. And I'm like, God, who's known me for a few years? Okay, I've gotten way better. I have gotten and that's a work of Jesus. My motive is to look like him. My motive is to never repel anyone, because I know that the Son and the Spirit live in me. And that's why I want to talk about it, because in that, the enemy wants to move me into a state of offense so that my motives aren't that all would be reconciled. It's all but him would be reconciled. But his motive was literally, he just quoted scripture. It wasn't even a big deal. He didn't, tell me I was the Antichrist or a false prophet or anything. So his motive, my point is, I don't even know his motive. His motive may have been, because the video that he did it on, all of it, not one single cuss word until literally the last 10 seconds. And I dropped an F-bomb, and, I feel convicted now. I'm not going to repeat it because I already got in trouble for it, but you know what I'm saying? So his motive was probably man, that was amazing until that part. Does that make sense? But I don't know what his motive, and his motives he may have been listening the entire time to find exactly what was wrong, and finally got a hold of it at the end. But I don't know his motives, and I can't know his motives, just like he doesn't know mine. My motive is never to be obscene. Mike Myckworth said something to me a long time ago that brought true conviction over my language. And this is what he told me. He said, this is all I want you to think about. He said, I feel like this is the word that God gave me for you. He said, whenever it comes out, are you drawing men to you or to him? And so this is what it did. It made me conscious of the times I would consciously say something to make a point or extend vocabulary. Does that make sense? So in those moments, if I'm conscious of it, that's driving men to me. And you know what I can bring you? Death. Nothing in me is good. But if what I'm doing drives you to him, then I'm doing the right thing, whatever that looks like. So what I've noticed is there's times that I'm very and that's probably why I've gotten way better, is because I'm very conscious of my desire to drive men and women or whoever hears me to Jesus. And so in that, I believe that's the transformation that's begun, because eventually I do believe that all of that will be worked out in his timing. Most of the time I'm just really excited. And if you ever notice when I lose my focus, I can't even remember what I said a minute ago. So it's not that I'm conscious of it. I just didn't even realize I said it, which happens a lot. And so, but nobody knows my motive. That's what we're talking about, right? I keep